Hello there. Good day. I hope that you are safe and well. Today is a very exciting day because we're kicking off a 4-part series of transformational change. This is obviously a monumental moment where the entire world is amid transformation. On a global level, including in the United States, we are headed in a positive direction from this pandemic. However, there are some organizations that are not on an uptick. And similarly, the uptick of transformation from an individual to individual level is going to differ based upon the person. Our 4-part series of transformational change will include part 1, individual transition and change. What does that look like on an individual level to transition? Part 2, the steps needed to develop an effective change leadership strategy. Part 3, we're going to discuss the 10 pitfalls to avoid when trying to lead change successfully. And part 4 is going to be the ways to increase change maturity within your organizations. Today specifically, we will address individual transition and change. Now, usually within an organization or a team, they may decide that change is necessary for some very popular reasons, including in response to the world, like this pandemic, or response to marketplace demands. They may want to change or transform to save money, to save time, to provide better quality, or to even create better services or products, creating something completely new altogether. Whether an organization is 300,000 or 10, they might make a decision for the sake of the entire organization to transform or to change. However, the individuals within that organization, those individuals have independent needs, independent capacities, and desires that may often vary from the organization or one from another. Your organization may be working to adapt right now due to COVID to telecommuting or what have you. They may be working on changing processes to make them more compliant, or need to cut costs or save money in order to survive. Regardless of the reason for your organization's transformational change, all individuals in your organization will not respond the same way. Now, I would like to share with you what the change process looks like on an individual level. So in creating this process, I have included elements from the adkar model as well as from the trans-theoretical models of change. Once an organization has decided to move forward with a change, the leaders make the individuals within the organizations aware. This is the awareness phase. It is a particularly important phase because obviously individuals cannot choose to participate or contribute to a change if they're not made aware of that desired change. This awareness phase can be done well, or it could also be done poorly. Individuals may receive a lot of information regularly, or little information with hardly any regularity at all. The bigger the change, the more information and the more regularly individuals should receive communication. Once individuals receive awareness, they all will go to this contemplation phase. Now, during the contemplation phase, individuals are deciding whether or not to participate in this change. They are contemplating whether it's in their best interest or the best interest of their organization based upon their perspective, whether or not this change should happen. Now, of course, the level of effectiveness in implementing the awareness phase will influence the outcome of the contemplation phase. After the contemplation phase, individuals will either choose to engage or disengage with the change. Those who choose to disengage will either go into a full rejection or avoidance phase. The rejection phase is evidenced by verbal or non-verbal defiance and or criticism to the new ways to come. Avoidance is harder to identify initially. The avoidance, it entails a more passive-aggressive approach. The individual is not assertively rejecting the new way and related actions. However, they're avoiding it as long as they can. This can manifest by not making the transformation a priority. They may continue to do things to work as usual, status quo. The rejection and or avoidance phase ultimately leads to the ultimatum phase. In an organization, transformation, this is going to require, obviously, some major shifting for everyone. Individuals will need to eventually adapt to survive and thrive within the organization, or otherwise. In the ultimatum phase, the individual may have rejected and or avoided the new way as long as they could, and now they need to make a decision. In order to be successful and or stay in the organization, they have to adapt. At this point, they either choose to stay disengaged or decide to engage with the organizational change. If they continue to disengage, it often leads to disillusion. That is the separation of the individual and the organization. The relationship that the individual has with the organization or that specific role may dissolve. And if this happens, obviously the individual reaches the final phase, which is failure to adapt. Now, individuals who ultimately choose to engage, they will go through this process of saying goodbye or letting go of the old or current way that things are done. The level of emotion required in doing this will depend on a lot of factors, including how long it has been that they've done that work that way, how much they have enjoyed it, and how much people interaction is shaken up. This is going to influence grossly the level of phase changes that they will need to go through and how long in order to ultimately be successful. There are a myriad of factors that will influence this. The process of letting go of this attachment may continue even through all of the phases of the change, just depending on how closely they are attached to the current way of doing things. The next phase is the novice or learning phase. This may require a new process, new skills, learning, new relationships. Essentially, the individual may become or feel like a novice all over again, and this brings anxieties in and of itself. Once the individual can effectively learn the new skills, processes, or relationships, then they are able to start doing the new action effectively. The ability for the individuals to learn and or prepare effectively will be largely influenced by the guidance and resources provided by the organization. As the individuals continue operating in the new way with new actions and behaviors, the individuals then enter the habit phase. Their performance in the new action improves. They gain confidence and comfort in the new way and can contribute successfully to the organization's transformation. They officially reach the final phase, successful transformation. Those are the phases of individual transition and change within the organization transformational process. Thank you for joining us on this journey of transformational change. I hope that you will stay tuned for parts 2 through 4 in the following weeks. If you know a colleague or a friend who will benefit from this information, please share it through email or social media. If you would like to learn more about how to bring a change certification program or a change class to your organization, don't hesitate to reach out by clicking the information here. And to learn about availability of coaching spots with Dr. Lepora for leadership, transformation, or change and talent management services, please reach out for your complimentary exploratory session. Have a wonderful day.